All right, testing, testing. Okay, screen sharing. All right, can you guys see?
Yep.
So, what we're gonna be doing for this review
Oh,
session?
Aaron.
Yeah, sorry. Yo.
Yep. All right, glad you're here. But we're gonna continue on. So, what we're gonna do for this review sesh, there's like a couple of main points I want to talk about. I want to talk about like the early game, right? Lead progression and fighting. This initial portion of it is just gonna be like more of a question and answer thing to try to get us all on the same page, and then we'll get straight into it. So like first, like what do you guys think is a good early game? Like what does that mean? Because I have my definition.
Sorry.
Like Winston, from your perspective, like as a jungler, like what is a good early game?
Mm, you set out, a good solid early game plan that involves both your own individual role and your teammates' roles, and then you're able to execute it like accordingly.
Okay. Quick, Doc. So you, we're gonna go one by one as fast as possible.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing basically, executing the plans you made for yourself,
Okay.
or there's some. If that's the same thing, then maybe having a stable laning phase.
Okay. Aaron.
Stay like playing to our champions or like what we drafted. Like, you know.
Yep. Isaac.
Um, like making sure just making sure what we need as a team is resource allocated towards where we need it.
Okay. And then Tisa.
Uh, I mean, if it's something different, maybe like adapting to like different changes that happen.
Mhm.
Like maybe something you planned doesn't go exactly correctly, but you can react to it.
Yeah. So all this is perfect. You guys have been in the competitive scene for a while. Uh, for me, when I think about a good early game, it's a combination of these things. But in reality, it's just playing towards your draft's conditions, and then everything out of this is like a result of that, right? Which is like the fundamentals. So you have to be good at the fundamentals of the game to play towards your draft conditions. And what I mean by that is like, how do you play around your stacked waves? Like, do you get good bases off? Like, do you have good training, right? So I'm gonna put that in here, like bases, stacked waves, discipline is actually a really big one, right? And in particular, it's like you yourself, like your individual champion, playing towards what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm gonna leave this here for a second. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Okay, lead progression. So like, what do you think it means? Like lead progression.
Uh,
I like how to generate gold leads and objectives,
Yep.
stuff to win the game.
Mm-hmm. So like Winston, like we've had this conversation before in the past, right? Where you're like, I was taught in the game to like always look for like dives as priority number one, right? And usually there's like a list of things that most people are aware of, but like let's get on the same page for this one. Like it's dive, right? Like what's after dive?
Do we still think dive after the patch change?
Uh, that's not important right now, but
Okay.
I'll explain my
Sorry,
thought
can you
process
repeat the
down the
question then?
road. Yeah, so in the early game, right, there's like a checklist when it comes to lead progression.
Mhm.
In the past, before it was like dive was number one, but like what's number two?
Um, dive. Oh, I mean, you could also say like covering dives based off like enemy team common champions.
Yeah, sure.
So I think it's just the most important thing is just identifying what like strengths and weaknesses your comp has versus other comp, and they're like in the first round, and then like I said, like that kind of involves when you're making like a plan, you're making a plan around like those factors.
Okay, so that's a good answer. The answer I was actually looking for was like Invid, Rome, Recall. Are you guys familiar
Oh
with this
yeah.
concept?
no.
Okay, so I can go like really briefly into that, but to make it easy for you to remember, right? Like an acronym, like boom, D I. All right, what does it stand for? Yep, Deus is really rude. There's another word that I could put there, but it's really rude. Right? Durr. Anyways,
Okay.
so no, I'm serious. Like I've taught this before. Like the acronym is really OP. It works, I swear.
Dales
But-
is really racist.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Aaron. But basically, the idea is that, like, when we're talking about lead progression, right? You're talking about like how do you like let's say your lane has a lead, like how does that turn into something, right? So we're gonna use the example of bot lane, right? You're stacking a wave. Can you dive with it, right? If you cannot dive, can you invade? If you cannot invade, like can you roam? So can you use that timer to do something on the map? Usually like dragon is like within this, and then like can you just take a base, right? So one thing I want to like specify about this type of thing, where we've had issues before in the past, is all it is a priority on what you're looking for. So what I mean is like you're not going strictly for like a goal to dive unless it makes sense with our champions, right? Like let's say we're playing Callista, it's like yeah, of course we're gonna look for the dive. But let's say we're just playing like a standard lane and we have a stacked wave. It's like, is there a dive opportunity that we can play for here if the conditions make sense? If they don't, then we're gonna look for the invade. If the conditions don't make sense, then we're gonna go for a roam. And this is like a mental checklist that's happening like all the time, right? And you guys do this already, right? It's just making it like more clear so that we can hold each other more accountable. What about the mid game, right? I put numbers advantage here, right? But like, what does that actually mean?
You can create numbers advantages based off like what lane you're going through, TP, just pretty much like just trying to move pieces together around the map.
So does anyone have like a differing definition? For progressing the game in the mid game, like how do you progress the game from a mid game? Do these things change?
I need like, it's not really, but it's like you need like somewhere or someplace to fight over, and
Yep.
you bring numbers over there.
Exactly. So what is like the main difference between early game lead progression and mid game lead progression? Like try to think like, let's say that mid game starts when all the adders are down, right? I don't think that this is necessarily true, but like it's an easy example, right? What is the difference when all the adders are down and all the adders are up?
Like
If we're
way
thinking
harder to
about like
dive.
numbers, what'd you say?
It's like way harder to dive to too.
Yep, that's one reason, or that's one other thing. What about you, Doxa? What do you think?
Like a place where, like reasons to fight, like if you want to control an area.
Mm-hmm. But don't think specifically about reasons to fight. The question is, what is the difference when it comes to progressing a lead when all adders are up and all adders are down? And I'll give Aaron one shot and then I'll help lead you through the answer. Like, what do you think is the difference? And try to think of numbers advantage. Anyone have a different idea before I go straight into it? All right. It's time. Okay. So, what I mean by that is when the adders are down, right? Let me just show this. You have more time to hold your numbers advantage, right? Now, instead of having to go back to the wave when it's here, right? Now it's like this, or it could even be like this. Do you guys see? So we're talking about like lead progression in the mid game and numbers advantage. The main factor is you have more time to utilize your number advantage, and like what does that actually become, right? And in this case, we say it's harder to dive turrets. That's true, right? So then it's like camps, right? And like this is the phase of the game before objectives, right? When objectives are spawning, then obviously like that's how you progress the game, by winning an objective fight or winning a team fight. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now finally, like
Ye-
team fighting and objective setups. So these are just like a bunch of concepts that I'm going to throw out. If you don't know it, then it's fine. I'll just define it for you because this is something I'm going to say in the review. So first thing, have you guys ever heard of like a concave when it comes to team fighting?
No.
Yes.
What does it mean?
It's like, I mean, I know how to draw it. It's like a circle, kind of, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like if you're fighting in a choke, like
Like a
you
semicircle,
can get
right?
hit from like more angles, whereas you
Mhm.
only have like a smaller area and smaller angle to play from.
Yep. Okay. Does that make sense for everyone so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, like, where to stand specifically? When you guys have like reviewed your team fights before in the past, has it been very clear like, oh, someone should stand here, someone should stand here? I'd even turn this into like something that's easier to understand, like pre-fight positioning. Like when you guys have talked about pre-fight positioning in the past before, like what is like the main things that are important?
Like our engage tools aren't like standing in the right spots or like coming from flanks, stuff like that.
So usually it's this stuff, right? Like pre-fight positioning is all centered around like our control. And then have you guys ever heard the term like ability matching?
No,
Okay.
maybe.
So this is something that you guys like might know instinctually, but it's the idea of when someone uses an ability instinctually, right? When that cooldown is down, like you walk up and you pressure. So by the
Oh,
same logic,
yeah.
when you use an ability, right, that you back up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, sick. So now that I got all of this on the way and we're like on the same page, I'm gonna go talk about the game now, right? So this game, do you guys like remember a lot about what happened?
Fair bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're gonna do for this review is we're gonna talk about the early game a little bit, and then we're gonna talk about the big game and finally the team fighting. So just like providing some context, we get a kill here. Awesome. So we already said from our draft prior that we're going to look to try to get the dragon off of Aphelios's blue purple, right? So if that's the plan, now this is really important. What do you think are the goals of mid and bot lane and top? Like if the goal is to get the dragon, like what is your job?
Stack a wave.
Yep. Not just that. Your goal is to like one, obviously stack your wave. It's to keep yourself safe, right? And then to try to get information. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've noticed in the past that when you guys play, we're playing for, I wouldn't say are just ourselves, but we're not like playing towards that plan. Like we'll take trades that don't make sense, or like take bases that don't make sense, or we won't push our waves on the correct timers. And I have some examples with that I want to show. But the first thing I want to say here, right, is like Winston, you're saying that you want to play for Dragon, right? And the bot lane, you guys are trying to get your crash off, right? So something here already isn't making much sense. If Winston's goal is to play for the Dragon, right? And it's pretty clear that he's going to want to do like Raptors into Dragon or Raptors Crocs into Dragon, but you want your base off, then what should be your goal on this wave? Crash it as fast as you can, right? Can you crash it as fast as you can? Like, are you able to fight on this wave like this?
I mean, as long as we stop Rel,
No, we
maybe.
can.
I don't know.
We can. Yeah, yeah.
Are you
I mean, I
saying
just worded it because I wanted to see the Maokai, right? So
the word is fine. Sorry, Aaron. Are you saying we can or we can't?
Can.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
I
Right.
have blue in like a millisecond. I just wanted to. Yeah, no, we can for sure.
Yeah, exactly, right? So this is what I mean by intent, right? Like if the goal is to play for this dragon, like what is the purpose of causing volatility here, right? Just crash
Yeah.
your wave with your blue, base, redeploy, right? Raptors, Krugs, play for this. Second thing, Doxa, your wards. right?
Yeah.
So we know that Maokai started top side, right? So what do you think is your job?
At this point, like warding their top jungle, like even
If you can, right? That'd be really
Tribush.
good.
Is that
Ah,
called a Tribush? I forgot.
yeah, this is Tribush. So if you
Okay, yeah,
can,
Tribush. Yeah.
that's good. But what I'm going to teach you something here is like a relatively like advanced concept, and it's going to be hard to pull off, but like every best top laner in the world does this. Your job is that since we're making a bot side play, your job is to try to waste his time top. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So don't die, right? No matter what, just do your best not to die. But you have to go into this under the idea that I'm going to make sure that I don't die, but I'm also going to make it volatile enough or threatening enough to where I can bring him over and then drag his time, right? So what that looks like from this position is you walk over, right? You drop the ward. You see that you have Pod and you have Biscuit, right? And then you know that this wave is going to be an important wave, right? Because this guy
Yeah.
has his wave like this, and you know that Maokai's going to come. So what you're going to do is you're going to obviously like look to threaten and pressure it. And then if we see Maokai here, you're just going to jerk off here and then continue trying to jerk him off. But look what ends up happening. He moves, right? Completely awful by him. We see this, right? But let's say you have a ward and then we see him. Fantastic. You continue what you're doing. You keep on jerking them off. You don't die. Just keep on doing this. Walk over here, right? Check this. Redrop your ward, right? Go back here. Continue jerking him off. And then while all this is happening and then we see him, we could do literally whatever we want bot side. Because right now we don't know exactly for sure where he is, right? Because
Yeah,
let me show here.
you're warding for sure.
But it's not just the ward, right? It's like the intent. Like, what are you trying to do? Drag his pressure.
Right.
Because let's say, for example, that Maokai didn't go for this play, right? He's on Krugs here, right? He's on Krugs now. All right, Winston, what do you think he's on Raptors?
Why do I think he's on Raptors? Or
No, when? After he's doing Krugs
Oh.
earlier, what do you think he's on Raptors?
he pretty. I thought he started Raptors. He didn't already do that. I mean, he's
No.
29. I guess not. Oh, I don't know. He should be on around like 4:55 minutes.
Yeah, so 450 he's on Raptors. And then after Raptors, he's either going to show on this top crab, right? And that could be a dragon pull. Or where is he? He's entering river right now. Does this look like a good dragon timer for us now? It's okay, right? But okay is not good enough for the advantage that we could have had. So do you guys kind of see like the point that I'm trying to get across here? Like technically, they could try to fuck with you 3v3, right? With these guys here, with Maokai coming down, and then Jinx like doesn't have to take her base, but Jinx should take her base, right? But this is what I mean about like playing towards the early game, playing with intent. So does anyone have any questions so far about this dragon round?
So what are like the actionable things you'd want changed for next time? Is
So
the bot wave and bot warding?
So one, the bot wave, like making sure to play for the crash, not for the fight, right? Because the fight doesn't make sense. And then top, just like the general understanding that when we do these type of plays, his job is to like bring their jungler top, right? It's not just the ward. The ward is good, but the ward doesn't mean anything if he doesn't bring the guy there, right? That's like the maximum amount of play that we can get.
But he's able to bring the Maokai towards top based off the information he has. Because if he wards, then he has enough information to know if he can trade on Yon, push, etc. Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Gotcha.
And he's also playing a tank, so it's okay for him to bleed creeps. If it means that we know where their jungler is. And then Isaac, in this situation, I would just say that like because of your base, you can get a pink, but your job would also be to try to like get a ward somewhere, right? And then continue pressuring like how you're pressuring. Okay, let's go on to the next phase, right? Now we're going to talk about Herald. So, similar to Dragon, it's the same thing for Herald when it comes to playing for our lanes. So, prior to the game, we talked about how we could maybe look for a potential swap angle if it makes itself appear, right? But like, what does a swap angle actually look like?
Swap angle. I think swap is good this game. How it should look is bot and top are communicating how their waves are looking when it's best for them to base, and probably around the window, around like that 7:20 to 7:40 window. So
Exactly.
the conversation should probably happen around like at least a minimum 36 in advance.
Exactly.
Or the idea should.
Nope. Exactly. So I'll just tell you that did not happen this game, right? And it's especially weird to me that it didn't happen because we were talking about it before the game. So like, who should take the lead on this? I think, to be honest, most of the time it's a team thing, but from my experience on my past teams, usually I've had my top laners ask bot lane if they want to swap because it's easier to like kill the bot lane fast, right? Where like a top lane, it's more about like if you're able to stack them and get a good timer. But in this case here, right, we need to be like talking about and thinking about it, and the way that would actually look like is here, like Docs, like you would not base,
Yeah.
Right. you would just stay. So you would stay, and then you would push this wave. We have Jarvan on your side, so it's completely chill. Bot lane cannot contest this wave because Makai is here, right? All fine. You see how since you didn't base, he's able to stack a wave on you, but in this case, he wouldn't be able to. Right here, we're crashing on this wave, and then if you and bot are able to crash these waves at the same time, then you can look for a swap play. So bot lane has the opportunity here, and the only time that you had an opportunity is if you didn't base. So does that make sense, Doxa and bot lane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, next part, right? T-Sum covers. Now we're playing for Herald. Okay. Pause. How does our composition want to play Herald? Or not even like composition, like just look at the map, right? Like, how are we playing this Herald? Like, through what lane? What is our advantage?
Mid.
Yep, we're going through mid, so mid's our advantage. Okay, nice. We push this wave. Here, T-Sum, you're a bit slow, right? So let's go back. Why do you think you're slow?
Mm. I mean, I stay this way because I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't even need to be here.
Aaron, what do you think?
What
I
is
think
the
I
timer
think
on
I
the
do,
Herald?
right?
How long is until Herald spawns? Does it show?
So
Like, I kind of feel like I have to stay. Well,
I mean,
at
I
least
guess I
here.
should just nuke the wave. It's only 20 seconds. I just, in my head, I wanted to stack a wave and then move, but I guess like 30, 20 seconds.
So to make it easier for you guys, this is the mid wave that's important. Right? So if we're playing for the Herald, then do whatever you can to be here on this mid wave. So the answer to some is like, did you overstay? No, because I don't think your base is that important. If you can get a base in, obviously that's fine, right? The issue here is that you're hovering the wrong side of the lane. You should hover
Okay.
here,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Hover here. So then when you walk, right, you're walking. And then now you're here. And then now what this
Mhm.
picture is going to look like is we have our jungle support here, right? And then Aphilos is pressuring the Jinx 1v1, right? So we get this wave in, kill it as fast as we can, and then we shift over. Okay. Our advantage is through mid now, right? What are you supposed to do, Doxa?
Just wait and trail top lane.
So there's two situations that usually happen here. What do you think there are? When we have mid push, we can either hit the Herald and then do X, or we can do Y. So like hitting the Herald and then doing X is what we did, and I'll show you, right? We hit the Herald, and then you connected like this. So what is the alternative option?
Connect aggressive way or not connect at all.
The alternative option is that if we're gonna go through mid like this, we walk through this way and then we connect you, right? In this case, like just imagine that T-Sum is already here, right? He's already here with Jarvan, and they're gonna push these guys out by yourselves, right? Now, the reason why I'm talking about these two options is because we need to know in game fast, right? So in game, we end up going to the correct thing, but when I'm listening to comms, we seem like very uncertain, right? So how do you think this conversation needs to go? It's just, all right, we got mid wave. You go, I can't contest. I can come. If you pull now, though, these guys will say, okay, well, they're leashing it. We can't pull yet. And you go, okay, I can get this wave. And then I can come now. Right? And the alternative thing here that I want to mention as well is if you want to like push everything to its maximum, right? Based off of our words, where is do we know where Rel and Maokai are?
Yeah.
Top
Yeah,
try or
top
something.
side.
Yeah. Exactly, right? So does Syndra need help on this wave?
No,
No.
Right? So then
Slasher's
what we,
not show.
yeah, so what we can do instead is we can actually stand here, right? Syndra get this wave by herself. Is it worth it to hit this guy with your spells?
Fine. No.
Yeah, right? Just hit the wave. And then now what we could be doing here, right, in this position is we could just be standing here, like looking at this bush. Jarvan can flag it. If people are in here, then we hit it, pull it down, and then Doxic walks from here around. If they aren't in here, then you can take the aggressive way, right? So there's like a lot of moving parts that's happening here. But there's one thing that's missing. Who do you think is missing in this play? Aaron, what were you doing this entire time?
Jacking off. Hidden, trying to get a plate.
All right.
Oh, that's valid. Even if you fog, yeah, the threat of just fogging is actually so OP. Unless you think, yeah, it's a cannon wave too, so Jinx can't like nuke it.
So right here, if you don't want to like fully commit to the move, that's fine. Just don't show, right?
Yeah.
The exact space that you can move, if you watch my videos, right, is up to here. You can actually move all the way up to here and then make it back to the wave, right? So now this adds a whole new dimension to the play, right? If Aaron is moving upriver, what are we doing? Fuck Doxa, right? Just hit this shit right now because we're on a timer. Oh, we pull it right now, right? We're hitting it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying like the sequence is slow, right? And if you guys remember what I said earlier about like playing with intent, same thing here. We're playing for Herald, right? Go fog. We're playing for Herald, be on this mid wave on time, right? So these are the things that we're kind of lacking when it comes to our early game. All right. Now I'm going to start talking about like the Herald usage. So in this game, after you asked me like, is it correct for me to pressure this this Yone? And I said it wasn't. Why do you think that's the case?
I mean, we get like a lead, or we get like a nice gold bump, but we could just like keep the map stable and not let any side of the map lose.
Yeah.
Because when we do that, our bot side is like under pressure and our mid laner loses a wave.
Exactly. So what do
And
you think we should
I'd
do
have to see,
instead?
like, I mean, I could just clear my top side and then base the bot, reclaim bot side of the map.
Yep.
How much gold in total do we get from this play?
We can check, but it shouldn't be more than like 300.
But I feel like League of Legends is like fundamentally like
So
like
300.
it's like incorrectly built. Like I feel like if like your team is able to like really coordinate and make a play like this, because I think like this is us being proactive and like making an intelligent play based off like different factors, and it's like not technically good for the game. It's like the game like kind of sucks. You know what I mean?
I kind of
like-
get what you mean.
Because like it doesn't like intent like it
Changes
shouldn't
this on
make
the
sense.
champs, you know, like it's like if we had like a carry versus carry top, like I'm
Yeah.
for sure this is the best play, I think.
I agree.
But in this case, it's like kind of like so in the sense where it's like it's definitely pros and cons.
So when we're talking about lead generation, right? And assessing whether or not a play is worth, you can look at it in terms of like actual gold value, right? And then like literal gold value, and then like expected gold value for the game. So I'm making it sound more like complicated than it really is, but all it is like we gained like 500 gold from this play, right? But this 500 gold is on Ornn, you know, and it's putting their Yone down, which is good. But like in reality, like who is more important? The Syndra and the Aphelios, right? So Syndra dropped the wave, and then Aphelios also have to play safe now on this timer, and they get Dragon. So in that case, it doesn't make sense to me to choose this option when we had the better option. And the better option was what you
Yeah.
said. Blue Grump Wolves,
I think-
base.
I think this play is probably just good if Drake's not on the map, and like, cause I mean, bowling's like they're stable at this point. Like once they crash, but I think Dragon is the biggest reason why it's not worth, and also because
If-
it's like right after Rift.
If Drake is not here, I would still want you to go for the play. And the reason why is because you have two options right now. You either base for tempo and you play fast into the bot side. What playing fast into the bot side would look like is we're gonna go play into his bot side camps, right? And we're going to threaten his mid and his bot. And now he has to make a decision. Is he gonna go top to try to pressure his like carry versus tank matchup, but Ornn's never gonna die, or does he have to stay bottom and like protect his bot side? He has to stay bottom and protect his bot side. So now they're reacting to us, right? There's no trade. Like he has to stay bottom. Or you just full clear all your camps, you get your Gore Drinker, and then now we really fist on the bot half of the map. You follow me?
Mhm.
Okay. So we make this play. It's fun. All right. Let me just check something real quickly. Yep. So the other half of this too is that we're late getting back on map. So what should normally happen in these type of situations is we should be able to threaten them on the push out. So what that means is if they take this dragon, right, we're either going for a counterplay at the same time they took the dragon, or we're going to slowly chase them out and then make sure that we deny them waves. In this case here, like you played for the Krugs. I don't think it actually matters that much. Maybe you're like same time as Syndra, but we would like hit this wave and then make sure that these guys can't walk through for free. So at the very least, like they lose one thing, right? But obviously in this case, the tempo does not allow it. 1 second. Okay. Now what play do I have here in mind? So dropping the Herald mid, I like. One thing that I want to mention is how we drop in. So it's all about numbers advantage, right? And keep in mind it's like not 14 minutes yet, so it's not like mid lane is like the way that's like the most important. It's actually like any lane, right? So in this case here, if we want to get control and we want to drop the Herald mid, what should it look like? What lane are we controlling through? Where's our numbers advantage? And I'll play it out again. Where is our numbers advantage on the map right now?
It's gonna be through mid.
Mid.
Okay. Okay, when I say numbers advantage, I mean someone doesn't have a job, right? So who literally doesn't have a job right now? It's Aphelios.
Me.
Oh, but, yeah.
Right? So when I say we have a numbers advantage through a lane, it's through Aphelios. Because this is the guy who can move. Right? So since this is the guy who can move, then where can he like realistically contest through? It's here. Right? So the reason why this is important is look what we end up doing. We're playing through mid, but we're going through top. Does this make sense? No. Because look. From all vision. If you open this way, T-Sum, and you also open this way, Winston, because keep in mind the goal is to like play for this wave, right? And you guys are both here, right? We're just waiting. If we see this, this is so illegal.
I think the problem is Alistar is just too slow though. I think Alistar needs to be on mid on this wave, like Relis.
Yep. So if that's the case, right? Because we're still thinking about numbers advantage here, then he just needs to take his base here.
Yeah.
Or instead of
don't
taking
have
his
the
base,
Or you just come up right now. Or
Yeah, he
push this
stays
wave
here.
and then come up with the fails.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's like the main problem because Alistair's late, so it's like trying to like just find a band-aid solution based off the tempo that we actually have in the game, you know.
Hmm.
But I do
Mhm.
agree, like the Rel and it's illegal what the Rel Market are doing. They should be punished. Like
I
Felius
mean,
are in a double hill.
yeah. The like the core thing that I'm trying to get across is like I just want us thinking about like numbers advantage in this way, right? Like if you yourself have this advantage, I want you to know what that means. So Aaron, if I'm you and I say, oh, I have a timer, right? I'm gonna ping. I'm like, hey, can we like go here, right? Because I
Yeah.
want to do something. Because you're either gonna base, right? Remember when Deus is really rude. We can't dive this guy. There's no invade, so all you have is a move timer because you don't want to base, right? And if you do want to base, then you should have just based instantly. So with your move timer, let's get the control here. Okay. And I know that we're saying like, yo, Winston, or not Winston, T-Sum, like you should have based sooner, you should have moved. But like, what's the trigger for him to understand that he has to be there on that wave? We have to call it out in game. And then who's that on, right? It's on you, Winston. And the reason why I don't think he actually moved is because I was listening to the comms, right? Is because we weren't sure what we were doing. So this is why, like, knowing what our plan is in game makes all of these things a lot easier as well. Because if I recall correctly, what ended up happening was you're like, I want to dive top and then drop Herald. And then Isaac was like, oh, I want to drop in mid. And then you guys were just talking about it. And then, you know, Tisa just based. So that stuff makes it a lot easier too. Right, give me a second. I want to try to figure out why my Epic Pen's not opening. Sorry.
P.
Well, I'm just gonna reopen it. Yeah, does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a very important for you too, Doxa. Okay, we're going to skip ahead past this. Actually, I need to talk about this. So, same thing, right? Where is our advantage? It's mid. So don't run straight through top, run through mid. The reason why this is important is because we're thinking about waves, right? Waves. In the game, we say that we can dive this guy, even though there's no waves. This is true, right? But doesn't matter. Not really. You know? Like, if we dive this guy without a wave, all it is 300 gold. And that's what I want us to think about. Does he have TP? Okay, so he has no TP. So it's like 450, right? Because he'll lose a wave. But we're also losing a wave mid. So the moment that we don't see this wave, what I want us to see, what us to do instead is look for the trap play that Winston called. But we did look for it. We just need to be faster, right? So right here, when do we know that this wave is gone? And whose job is to call it? Doxa, your job. You go, yep. Oh, this wave is gone, guys. Book it back. Book it back instantly. Right here. Hide here. Right? This is why it matters if Alistar is here. Because then, if we book it back, we're here right now, dead. Do you guys see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's say these guys are good. They go this way, right? That makes sense. They have to go the long way. Where do we go? Like this? Or like this? We could choose, right? Because one thing that's important in this situation is that we actually see the Maokai rail come from the bot side. Now let's say that they're instead contesting from here, right? Maybe it's a bit risky to walk this way, but since we see them, we can take the more aggressive path. They're walking around this way instead. It's fine. Trap here. Important thing, vision, right? If you're looking to pick someone in these type of rotations, where do you think are like the easiest spots to get a kill? This is a good spot, right? But why is it a good spot? What do you think?
A bush.
There's a bush.
Yeah, there's a bush. So by that logic, this is a good spot. But right now it's not. Why?
Well, the wave sees me. One thing too. But,
Yeah, the wave sees you,
yeah.
but not just that. It's specifically spots that are good to pick are where they can't see you, but we can see them. Right? That seems really simple in like, obviously, but that means that by that logic, this spot is hard, right? Because where can you stand? Right? This is too far, right? The distance is too far. And if you want to pick in here, right? Then this spot is hard because where are you going to stand? Right? That's hidden. You have to be like standing here. So really, when you're trying to pick someone, it's like here, 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 here if you have a ward, here. Does that make sense? Or even like hiding in this pit if you have a ward. So when you're trying to go for this like in quotations pick play, it's like where are they coming from, right? And where are we going to trap? So in the game, like Winston's calling like, yo, let's just fight them when they walk in. Let's just fight them when we walk in. But it's kind of hard, right? Because we don't know exactly where they're coming from. And the situation, if we don't know exactly where they're coming from, right? Then the best that we can do is just sit here. Now, is this good? No. Why? Because if they are good, there's no wave. Ziggs shows on this mid wave, right? And we're just jerking off here for fun, and then we get red. So I know I went into this like pretty deep, right? But this is like a very, very important moment in terms of like us like accelerating the game, right? Because what I see on my screen right now is a plus 2,000 gold lead. Instantly. If we kill them all here. Okay. Anyone have questions about this portion?
No.
All right. What do you think is like the most important thing off of what I said about everything here? Like, what was the most important thing, like, Isaac?
But Deus is really rude, where it's like once there's no dive option, like they invade instantly, and then like just. But yeah, that's what I thought was the most important thing.
Okay.
With the specifics here.
What about you, Winston?
I think just like coordination, especially around rest, just swapping lanes, making sure we're going through the same side. And just having like good execution around that objective, and then with the rift play, not making sure it's too fast, making sure that's all parts, all like individual members have a role with any play that's made by a team, and just just making that apply in the short amount of time you have in game is super important.
And then, you, Daxa?
Communication. Make sure everyone's on the same page when we're doing stuff.
So for you specifically, like, what are you communicating?
Communicating my wave state.
Yeah, and then what
And-
about you, T-Sun?
Like deploying through the correct. Well, one is being on time, and then the other one, I guess, is deploying through the correct lane.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good, sounds good. And in this case, Aaron, like, I didn't mention anything about you, but you actually have a job too. Your job is just to say, oh, guys, like, maybe Jinx could be there. She doesn't show, but, like, it's really
Yeah.
bad. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to be skipping ahead. Gee, before I skip ahead. This dive play, like, do you guys think this is good, by the way?
I think if there was a way to get Syndra up here, I think Yona's no flash. I think if we played it better, no, I mean,
I think
it's
it's
like
bad
you guys
after
actually,
VC roll.
yeah.
After roll.
No, we don't. It's actually a pretty hard chance to dive low key if you don't have like point click CC.
Yeah.
His EN alt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the only thing I want to mention here is just make sure that we don't. So here we go. When you make a play and you know the enemy team defends, right? You have two options. You can like wait them out and just be like, oh, there's no way they think we're still staying here. Or you could just like base while you're in fog and they don't know if you're still staying there, right? So rule of thumb for me, I always tell my teams like just base, right? Because there are situations where it's good to stay, but most of the time, like people aren't at that level where they can hit those situations consistently, and you'll just have more success just like basing and then bringing them there. So keep that in mind. We brought them all topside, just base, right? Imagine we're deploying right now with Aphelios and Syndra. We're here in bot side river, and we just took full control. In comparison to like what is ever is happening on the top side of the map right now, because that was a bit of an oopsies. Okay. This play, I like. Just getting information. Isaac is back on time for the mid wave. I want to like highlight this because this is something that Isaac was bad back at when he was on my team before. Good shit.
Thanks.
Hopefully that wasn't a backhanded compliment.
No. That's good.
So, this is a small thing, but one thing I want to like highlight is it's past 14 minutes, right? So mid waves are the most important wave now. Okay, kill this, shift, solid. Okay, are there any issues with the way that we play this Herald? Okay, pause. How do you think this Herald should go? Like, let's say the red team is contesting us. Or like, let's say we're the red team. Like, what are we doing in this position?
If we're the red team,
Yeah, if you're the red team, like, what are we doing? This is really, really important, by the way. Like, you guys need to get to the answer fast. Here, I'll play
for
it out
red team,
one more
go
time.
through mid.
Okay.
I think Jinx can get proud on mid. Actually, she has no tier 2 boots. The fuck? Never mind, she cannot. They should just be trading into bot. Try to get bot tower with 6W. Or Ziggs can just come in and get the mid tower. But I think trading to bot's good. Don't think they can win this fight.
Yeah.
I think they'll trade mid, maybe if they can. Oh, I guess Syndra is here. Maybe not.
Let's be-
Wow, what a good Syndra combo.
He got on his ass.
Fog.
Okay. So, this is something that we're going to be training through the boot camp. Okay? We're going to have scrims, and the answer needs to be instant, right? Because that's how it has to be in game, right? We're in this situation. This is the picture. What is the enemy doing? And then we have to react instantly, right? So let's go back and see what we ended up doing. Okay. So Isaac's on the bot wave. We just got this mid wave, right? We just chunked out their ADC. So what we could do is we can go one round division, right? And then we can play the next mid wave, or we can hit it right now, right? Those are our options. So what are we doing? Are we going to go one round division? Because if we're going to do one round division, right, then what should we have done? We should have got down some fucking vision. If we're going to hit the Herald, then what should we have done? We should have hit the Herald, right? So here we're doing some like in between. So what does it look like if we're going to get vision?
Like people are coming with me through the jungle.
Yeah. Get the fuck in there. Get in there. This is a numbers advantage fight right now. This is a 3v3. First, think about the TPs, right? No TP. No TP. Well, it's up in 5 seconds, but no TP. 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 Hello. Just engage on them. This is not allowed, what they're doing right now on my screen. And then how does it look like? Because you said come with you, right? Like, how does Aphelios and Jarvan actually walk?
Like straight up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So we have numbers advantage, right? This is something I'm going to push really hard. Because this is lead progression. Right here, this is lead progression. We have numbers advantage. Take the fight. Take the aggressive path. Because numbers advantage means that even if it goes all wrong, at most, it's going to go net neutral. Right? Let's say it goes completely wrong. Like, it's fine. We're not going to lose the fight. It's going to go neutral. We might just lose map control. But if it goes well, it goes really, really well. Right? If it somehow goes wrong, when you have numbers advantage, that means that you just lost 3v4. Right? Or in this case, if this fight goes wrong, we lost 2v5. So, get in there. Okay, does that make sense? How it's like the decision-making tree? We're either going to get vision, or we're just going to hit it. And we have to make our decision. Do you understand, Winston? Do you understand, Aaron?
Yeah.
But alright, yeah, I feel like I understand, but it's also like this is good fight is like 3-2. But like the TP is like yeah, like 7 or 8 second timer, I feel like. If they can cancel you.
So you're worried if they can cancel you, right?
Yeah, so like I need to like push the wave and then like walk to a safer spot to TP.
Yeah. So what's all gonna happen in that situation is this is where the communication comes in. We're gonna get vision after this wave, right? So what that means is we just wait, right? Like, do we need to be doing this like right now at this instant? No, because we're getting vision first on our timer. And then who should be fogging? It's the person with TP. So in this case, it could be either like Syndra or Ornn. In my opinion, it should be Ornn. So does this wave matter that much? No, just fog. Why? Because if we get this vision and push them out, we're gonna go this way. You're gonna be able to walk through this way anyways.
Okay.
But the trigger in our head is, all right, guys, we're gonna get vision. So then you know that you're gonna stay fogged because you have TP, and then these guys know that they're going to fight no matter what. Maybe no matter what's a bit like too much, right? But they're gonna look to fight. Does that make sense, Isaac? In this case, if you're the one with TP, that it's your job to fog.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And then since I already talked about the vision line, right? We're just gonna talk about the hit, and it just means that we're just hitting. Like right now, we're just hitting it, and then we have the entirety of this wave to hit it. So we have 11 seconds. So we could have been hitting this for 10 seconds, right? Or like 15 seconds. This is dead. Make sense?
You're
Yep.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay. This is a thing, so you guys know that we have a tendency to throw, right? I will tell you the specific things that I see where I know that we're gonna get the throw. I have a throw radar, right? This is the situation. When we have two objectives that we can take on the map, and we think that we're strong, my throw radar starts blinging. Why? Because you overstay, right? You're either gonna get this turret, or you're going to get the dragon. Or you're going to get the turret and the kills, or you're gonna get the turret and the dragon. So let's look. Why? Why is that the case? Because there's not infinite time, right? If we're gonna commit to killing them, that means we're not hitting the dragon. Boom. We killed them. Now this turret is gone. Now this dragon's gone, right? Because it's their turn. Right? Let's say that we want the turret and the dragon. Boop. Jarvan's hitting it this entire time. We get dragon. This is really important because in the past, I've seen us do this exact same thing where after we do this, right? Let's say our HP is high. We go to the dragon. And then we get aced. Because we have no conditions and they have TPs. So just keep that in mind. Do I think that it's correct to go for this play for the dive? I think it's fine. Me personally, I'd probably just want the dragon. But if we do this play, it means that we're probably going to look to do a 20-minute Nash, which is okay as well. Now, here. I'm going to bring us back to something I said earlier, right? I said something about like a push-out line. Like, what is a push-out line? Remember, on an objective, you have two options. You can, or three. We can trade. Can we trade?
No, I'll maybe top, but
Well, we could try, but we're slow. That's important, right? We're thinking about tempo here. We cannot be topside at the same time that they do dragon,
yeah,
right? So can we, if we can't trade, then we're going to push them out. So what does it mean to push them out? It means that we're going to force them to go back the safe way, and we're going to make them bleed out waves, right? And then the final option is we do nothing. Ideally, you don't want to do nothing, but that's only if like the situation's really bad. So let's watch what we're doing. Let's say that we're going to push them out. Isaac, where are you going?
Going with Jarvan right now to get control, and then we can shift down.
Okay, let's go back. Okay, so where do we think that we should be going? Should we be going through bottom or should we be going through mid?
Through mid, I feel like.
No, we should go through bottom. The
I
reason
think we
why.
re-
What's up, Aaron? Actually, yeah. Do you think we should go through bottom or should we go through mid?
Well, I think we already got the mid wave, so we can just go through. I don't know. Just do
No,
it.
I see.
What were you saying, Isaac?
No, he's right where he got the mid wave. Like I should contest this bottom wave, but I also kind of want to be there if they do fight. Like,
I mean, should I
Mid
not be
area.
mid? Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Boom. Tsum got it. Tsum should not be mid. Right? Because remember, we're thinking about the waves here, right? So we got this bot wave, right? Tsum, Jarvan here. Walking this way. We already denied the bot wave, right? So now we're going to try to push them out. We want to pinch them, right? So we want to come in like this. Jarvan's here with Syndra. Alistar's here with Syndra. We see Yone, right? And we have 3-man here. Now what can they do, right? They can try to collapse on our 3-man core. Is that good for them? Honestly, it's a little bit risky, right? For them, that is, because Yone's far away. They could look to run up, which is our ideal, or they could run towards Aphelios. Now, running to Aphelios is bad if they get the mid wave. But like Aaron said, we already got the mid wave, right? So there is no running towards the Aphelios. They're just going to run this way. So if they run this way, what does that mean for us? It means that we get bot side vision control, right? We chase them out. Now, what does it mean to chase them out? It means that now we have a play on our turn. So what we do here is we try to make our play top side, when in reality, right, our play is bot side right now. We're going for a play that's one wave too slow, because we're not going to do anything here, right? It's on this one, where in comparison, we could do something here, right? Isaac is here, Jarvan, Alistar are here, getting vision. This guy has to give up this space, right? And has to sit here, and if he doesn't, then we dive him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So just to clarify, what I want us to understand here is like, they do dragon. If we're trading, we know how to trade. If we're not, we're pushing them out. Winston, does that make sense for you? Hello?
Hi.
You know what? I have like a feeling, like when I know he's not here. It's when he doesn't say anything for like 5 minutes, because usually he puts his opinion in there, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
And then he comes back like that always. Like actually, he
What
actually
you
comes
do is-
back like,
you're,
oh,
you're talking about going through Volin, and then wait, what did you ask me?
Okay, so I want you to explain what you think we should have done here.
We're playing for Mountain. Can you go back like 20 seconds? We're so late on tempo. Why are we late on tempo? It's because we tried to dive mid, right?
This guy wasn't here at all. Where did you go?
No, I was. You said no. I was literally here. I was listening. You said, oh, I don't really like the dive mid because I would have preferred you to do the Drake, but like it's okay. It sets up for Baron. I was here.
Okay, so then what should we do here?
Basically, go top's fine. I think I'm greeting an item. I think what we did was fine though.
Okay, so
I don't think we
Can-
need to contest this Drake. If that's what you're saying.
can someone explain to him what we talked about? Who's feeling confident?
like in like about this screenshot.
Yes.
So after the dragon, we want to trade side or like trade something still. So we were like saying that Alistar we need to go through bot and push them out.
Okay. So
So you're saying
Winston
matching
said,
on bot?
actually, you talked to him, Aaron. He said, go talk.
What was the question?
No, I can see that. Like you're saying that even though we're not contesting Drake, we still go into bot, right? Is what you're saying?
talking to you, Aaron.
Wait. Yeah. After the dragon. Because we were late to the dragon. That's what
Yeah,
you're
like
saying.
we're not contesting this Drake. You're just saying,
Yeah.
or like what we should do is instead of going to top and giving Yellen this free lane, we should retake the vision back in bot side and then play for bot tower.
Yeah.
Because then they don't have to play because they can't make a play on top, and we're stronger on bot because we just came off base.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's pretty intelligent.
Aaron's so smart, isn't he?
That was me.
That's good. I like
Good
that,
shit.
Aaron.
Good shit.
That's not like I think. Yeah, I'm just trying to think because normally it's like when entering the Drake, you just play to trade. But I think is the only reason we do it like this because Syndra is like somehow ended up bot instead of top because he doesn't have to be.
Yeah, well, it's because we're late, you know. Like,
We don't have
Mhm.
a trade play. Like even if we go top right like from base, we won't be able to trade. You know,
Mhm.
because these people have
they'll
the
just
base.
be a way ahead of us.
Mhm.
So we defend their play and like also.
So
Well,
like,
also because I think I did TP and I did push this wave in while they're doing dragon.
basically, Isaac TPing gave us the opportunity to go for this play. But let's say, for example, he TP top. There's nothing we can do because it's these guys who are late, right? 80 support. Where did you go, Winston?
I went to go get juice,
Why didn't you
and
say
then I
anything?
was. I didn't want to. I didn't want to cut you off.
Next time, cut me off.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, but yeah, awesome. Now, just to clarify, let me go back to this. Okay, so we talked about early game, right? Now we talked about like progressing the lead. Now I want to talk about objectives, because this Baron was some type of ass. Okay,
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah.
there's a bit more that happens towards like how we like actually generate our lead here, but I'm not gonna talk about that. I want to just talk about this. Okay, so we get a pick. Now we want to play for Nash, right? I want us to think about this. So think about the concave, think about pre-fight positioning, think about ability matching, right? Because all these are relevant. Okay. Pause. How are we going to play this Nash?
I think
I'll give you some leading questions. The first question in every objective setup is where are they coming from?
their jungle.
Middle in their jungle.
Okay. So we think that they're going to come from here or they're going to come from here, right? The reason why this is important is because Aaron, right now, what you're trying to think is where are we going to fight? You're an ADC, right? So all you're thinking is where am I going to hit from? If we know that their connection points are like this or like this, where's the fight? Where the lines meet. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but in this case, we don't actually know for sure if they're going to come from here, right? Because they're all fogged. It's just Yone. So, what is our priority in this situation? Get information, right? Oh, fog. We see them all, right? So, now, what's the issue with what I'm seeing? Is this the case? Should Alistar be here alone like this?
No.
Maybe
Because T-Sam's doing the correct thing here, by the way. But he's getting inted.
maybe someone gets in that bush. I think actually
I think I should be in the.
yeah, maybe Isaac or
Yeah.
Wulin. Maybe
Really.
Isaac. And that
I think
middle.
I tank and an alt. Wait, do I have alt?
Oh yeah. Well,
No.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't.
he's not
Okay.
very useful.
Yeah.
I should be
Otherwise,
for
I think I
sure.
would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Jarvan maybe even.
So, no,
Like
continue.
Ornn and AD can be hitting. It's pretty chill until like Baron gets lower. If
Mhm.
as long as the tools we have, like so like Jarvan has the tools in this game. For an ulti, he should be in the bush, I think.
Mhm.
And I should be in the bush.
So let me go back. remember, first thing that we want to do is we want to know where they're coming from. So it's division round first. A little greedy, going for this Gromperino, but it's fine. Doxa, I don't know about starting it instantly, right? But it's okay, right? Tsum goes in for the vision, but what should be happening here from this perspective is one, I actually don't think getting the Grump is good. I think you should just run straight to the Nash. Doxa will TP, and then he could hit it, right? If he hits it, then you're going to come walk over this way so that Alistar can drop his vision. In this case, we have one ward, and Tsum, something that we're going to have to talk about is like your basis so you get more vision, right? But we would just come here and then try to drop one ward here just to see where they're coming from. Okay? Does that make sense so far on step 1 on team fighting?
Yep.
All right, now step 2, right? We talked about the pre-fight position, found where they're coming from. Now it's the team fight formation, right? The team fight formation. So what is a team fight formation? It's where you stand to the fight beginning, right? And the optimal, formation is a concave, like this, right? Now Tsum explained it, and I want him to explain it again. Why is this the optimal position to hold?
Everyone can kind of hit like the same target.
Everyone can hit the same target around the circle, like be on any edge of the circle, and you can hit like in the same spot.
Yes.
Whereas
right?
the other person can't.
Now, I'm going to talk about something that's like a bit advanced when it comes to team fighting, right? So let's imagine that let's say there's 5 people here, right? And let's think about engages, right? Winston, you play engage champions, right? So let's say you're Jarvan. You can engage like this, right? Into the middle. You can engage to the side, or you can engage to the side. Following so far?
Are you saying if I'm in the circle position or where I currently am?
Like right here. Like I'm saying, like let's say Maokai is Jarvan, right? So
Okay.
we're standing like this. Like these are our champions, right?
Yeah.
And then the enemy team, based off of the fact that we're holding like this, they're grouped like this in one square, right? So as an engaged champion, you can either engage like this, or like this. Make sense so far? Other, like let's say like you don't have the ability to go for some crazy flank. Now the reason why this formation is ideal is because if you gauge on this, right, you're a frontline champion. What happens to your backline? Your backline is here, right? Do they feel safe to hit when this is threatening them? No.
Depends. If they posture like more towards my engage, they should feel safe.
Right. So now,
And if
so now,
like,
oh,
like
sorry,
say
go
it's
ahead.
Jarvan, like say Jarvan like EQs to the top right one closest to Baron. Rel marks any threats from the 2 lines on the left side, and then say like this is a Jinx, like she can be in Alistar's position and free
Yeah.
auto pretty comfortably.
So what you're saying
depends.
is, so this is perfect that you're mentioning, because what's going to happen to the enemy team? They're also going to have to take up a concave position, right? Because what you're describing is their rel is here, their carries are here, you're here, and then their top laner is somewhere here, right? So this is why grouping is terrible, right? Because if you're in this position, if you're grouped versus something like this, right? So their carries are here, they cannot hit because of this threat. And the only way to not feel threatened in that situation is if you are also in some form of concave, right? Everyone following? Okay, let's see what we do. Okay, what the fuck is this?
Ball formation.
Yeah,
Right?
or it's all holding
Armadillo.
hands.
Yeah, this is something I call black holing, right? We're just all on top of each other, but why, right? We went through it and explained why concave is better, but we're black holing. So now that
Like can you play?
yeah.
So say we play concave. So what ults do we like have right now? Like what abilities do we have?
So we have your
So
spell.
one is Orner. It's still in a while. It's like 20 seconds.
Syndra, EQ, QE.
Yeah, Syndra QE.
Think play it.
Yep.
I think I should not be in the pit, and Orange should be tanking. Me and Orange's position should be swapped because Orange doesn't have ult right now. So Orange should just tank while Philios they just duo it, and then I'm playing with Syndra Alistar. And then if I see the angle, then I go.
Yeah. So one thing I want to talk about too. So I'm just going to explain the concept, right? And I want you as an individual to tell me where you're at. So concave, right? Boom. Hold like this. In this case, let's put Orn here, right? And then should Aphelios be here or here, Aaron?
Like in this screenshot, like if
No, not in the screenshot. I'll go further back. Because one thing I want to say is like when you have first setup, you have time, right? So we can get into the position. So in this case, we have time to get into our position. Are you gonna go here? Or are you gonna go here?
in a concave, then I would go to the. If Orin was, where is Orin
Orin's
again?
here.
I mean, I'll go to the one below.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay, good instincts. Why?
Well,
Here, I'll help you. Where do you think the fight's gonna happen?
right there,
Here?
like around here. Yeah.
Okay,
Well, like,
let's.
where is our team? Like, where are the other people?
Well,
I wanna.
so let me stop you for a second, right? Because it's gonna get like a little bit hard to understand. I'll just like give you the answer. Our fight position is where their lines meet, right? So we know that they're going to be coming, somewhere in this direction, right? And then it gets confirmed that they're coming here. The reason why you want to stand here, right, is because you're in range for this fight location. If you're here, then where's your fight location? It is here. That's all it is. It's that simple, right? It's just about your range. So in this case, since we're first, right, we have the benefit of knowing that the fight is going to be here. Okay, Aaron is here. Nice. Okay. Boom, boom. We have this location, this line. Okay, but we say that we want a line that's like this, right? So who is in this location, in this area? Who do you think should be at this spot in particular?
We kind of want to be there, but also depends on if they can like flank me.
So the person who is here is the person with the most amount of flank threat. So do you have flank threat? No, you have zone control, right? This is an important distinction because the person who's in the middle is a person with the most amount of range. So in this case, who has the most amount of range in our comp? That doesn't have to hit Nash. It's you, right? So where
Yeah.
should you stand?
In the middle.
And then where should Alistar stand? Who has more flank threat, Jarvan or Alistar?
I think Jarvan
No, it's Alistar.
or Alistar.
Why is it Alistar?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like?
Like who has more threat from the
I thought you
side?
meant like a reach. Okay, okay. Yeah.
That's Alistar,
That's what you're saying.
right? So going through this like checklist, right? Syndra's here, Alistar's here, Orin and Philos are here, and then like Jarvan can stand like somewhere here or here. He could even be hitting the Nash, but I don't think it's that good. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the reason why this is important, right, is because watch. Rule number 1 about entering Nash, right? Information. Number 2, flanks, right? So their job is to find out where the fuck are we, and 2, where the fuck is our flank. So this guy, he is booking it into here, trying to find where Alistar is, right? They already see Alistar, so they feel safe. That's fine. Okay. Now they see us, right? The reason why this bush is really important, right? And why you should try your best to hold it, but not kill yourself on it, is because if we have a pink here, and then they cannot drop green wards, they also have to drop a pink, right? But it's fine. Now let's say Alistar's here, right? And then she splits off to find Alistar, right? Okay, where does Alistar stand? He stands here. And then now it's, okay, if we push in like this, Alistar has a threat on our flanks, right?
Mhm.
Syndra has a threat here when they walk in. So when we're thinking about the objective setup, right, we're always thinking about our prefab positioning, so where they're coming from. And then once we find out where we're coming from, we make our formation as fast as we can. Because the way that we pull the trigger here, is horrid. Right? Look at where we're at. The fight's happening here. Hello? Can Aphelios hit?
No.
Exactly. Right? So the way that we're positioning right now is like we want the fight to happen here. But if we want the fight to happen here, then think about the formation again. Let's say we want the fight to happen here. Okay, where's our line? Where's our concave? Like this, right? Do you see it? It can even be like this. So in this case, let's see the fight's here. Where should you stand, Isaac?
Like near that ward, to the right of that ward.
Okay. Where should you stand, Oren? Daxa.
I don't have ult, right?
You don't have ult.
Like 10 more up.
Like here?
Like tank for like my Syndra, like
Yep, you're either
For
gonna
Alistair?
stand you're gonna stand here or you're gonna stand here. Right?
okay.
Right, because Syndra is going to be here. And then where should Alistair stand? Where should you be, T-Son?
I mean, either like the same location below,
Here,
where the
right?
like, banana bush is, or I can be in the pit too if I have like flash or X flash or something.
So just to clarify, boom, boom, boom. Syndra or Alistar could be like this. I don't like that much. I want Alistar to be here. Right? So what's gonna happen is you're gonna push in, right? And then Alistar has threat on their flank. And it's hard for them to walk in. So this time it took a bit, right? It was like slow to get to this point, but throughout the boot camp, we're gonna get faster at this stuff, right? Because we have to be faster at this stuff. And then the final point that I want to bring out is like the ability matching. Look at this. Hello.
Yeah.
No QE.
Whoa.
Really important, by the way, right? When Syndra uses her QE, these guys should
They can
walk up.
engage now.
Yeah, they should engage. If it was like even numbers. In this case, like their champs are kind of like, I mean, they have no Ziggy, but usually what's standard is this guy instantly presses his ulti. Why? Because Syndra's no longer a champ. For 13 seconds. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like certain champions like this, like with Syndra, it's really obvious. If like Alistar, like for some reason like Qs, it's like shit. But like that's how failed engages go poorly too, right? Like let's say Alistar W Qs, and then they defend the engage, they're gonna counter engage. But yeah. Okay, so let me go check the time. This took we're like past an hour point, right? I went through a lot of stuff. I don't really want to talk about the second game. We could do the second game like maybe tomorrow, right? Online or in person. But for this, like I want to show this. What did I just do? Okay. Summary. I want each of you to tell me like what is like the most important thing you took out from each phase of the review. Right? And then if you want a reminder on the phases, it was early game, lead progression, and then team fighting. Okay, so let's start off with Mr. Doxa. What did you learn about early
Okay.
game?
Early game. For me, this game it was like mostly about the Herald and how I'm like connecting with the team. So and also the wording and wasting the jungler's time.
Okay. What
Without
about
fucking myself over. Yeah. Wasting jungler's time without fucking myself over.
what about the lead progression? Like in the mid game, how do we snowball?
Is this for me or for Dog Show?
This is
no,
for
it's
Sorry,
Doxa.
sorry.
So in the mid game. I can for me I can group like or I can drop the top wave and look to go fog and help my jungle support get control of a jungle, like a portion of a jungle. to progress the game?
So I use that example because you had TP, right? But there's something
Yeah.
more important that I want you to think about, and it's fine if you can't think about it right now. Just think a little bit more, and I'll show
Okay.
this.
Oh, I mean, Deus is really rude.
No, that's not it
Like-
either.
Wait, what?
That-
Wait,
that-
really? Because like I thought you were talking about like the play at top where if they take the wave, I should communicate my wave that it's gone.
Oh, actually, no,
then
you're
we
right.
look for-
That is really important. But what I was specifically looking for was like numbers advantage, right? Like if we
Oh,
had
okay.
numbers advantage, like what do we do with it? Okay, and then
Make- okay.
no, you could finish your point.
Oh, like you could either make a play for an objective or just do something with it.
And then what about
Option,
team
yeah.
fighting?
The main example of that game was like the Baron. Make sure we communicate like pre-game fight, and I need to make sure I know where to be. Like for example, that Baron fight I could have been, well, I should have been tanking the whole time and letting my ADC hit. But if I had ult, I could step up as well in a bush or something and look for turn, call turn.
So, like, what is the most
But-
important thing about pregame fight? Like pregame
Just
fight
knowing where to
position?
stand and
And
like knowing
how do
when
we
to
know where
pull
to
the
stand?
trigger. Concave. I don't know.
Okay, so
I have no idea.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Could someone
I mean,
help him out?
like sometimes I know where to stand, and sometimes I don't.
Where the fight's gonna happen?
Oh, right. The two lines,
Yeah,
the two
and
lines in a circle. Yeah.
And how do you know where the fight's gonna
Yeah.
happen?
Uh,
If we
seeing
get
where the
first-
enemy is coming from. Oh wait,
Yes.
what?
What were you saying, Isaac?
Just saying, like, if we get first setup, we'll like kind of determine that ourselves. But yeah, we still need to see where they like physically with vision.
Yes. Free fight position. Info. Formation. Solid. Thank you, Doxa. Alright, it's time for Winston.
Mm,
Early game. What did you learn about early game?
I learned to connect with the team in way jungle time. No, I'm joking.
I hope you know
wait.
we're gonna meet in person real
Yeah.
soon, Winston.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Okay, in the early game, I learned to, well, like what it means to have like an early game plan, and then also just like for
What does
example
that
with
mean?
early drakes, well, just like setting up like the objectives, like how you are you saying like Deus is really rude, like dive, invade, that type of shit. No, okay. Like on a serious note. Okay, so early game, like my one takeaway is like about the neutral objective, making sure like laners' conditions are in like a good position in order to execute on the objective, so like we don't get invaded, and like how every person is involved in order to do that. And then that also like involves for example Aaron having a good wave state, and like same with Isaac, is he in better conditions mid? What's his CP like? And then just making sure we don't get fucked over in that way. And then after that, just the wrist swap.
Okay. Wait, sorry. Give me a second. Something was really weird. Okay. Rift swap. Understanding conditions. So I got distracted.
Mhm.
Teammates.
And then focusing.
Is that what he said? Like,
Yeah, then,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
he's just like focusing. Sometimes like I'll like ignore my laner's conditions and then just do something. So just for example, if I am
Yeah.
pulling dragon, make sure all the conditions are met, so we aren't just leashing for the enemy team.
what about the mid game? Lead progression. Okay, I'm gonna say that.
For lead progression, I mean the main thing was like for example the situation around dragon, understanding like when to match and when to play the opposite side of the map based off tempo. And then just like for neutrals, like how we're fighting them, just how we're involved, how like that example of like Isaac moving towards mid and like what the enemy team's play should be versus our play. And then also like don't get too greedy about like trying to force plays, make the right play. Like for example, post rift, like stabilize the map again, not giving Drake for it for free, stuff like that.
Okay. And then what about team fighting?
Team fighting, I understand like what abilities we have and like what our role is. For example, like me, I have to be in range as driving in the engage in order to follow up to hit my EQ. So I need to make sure I'm like based off our like concave line or like where engage is going to come from, or if I'm the primary engage, like that I'm putting myself in a position in order to capitalize on enemy team misstepping. And then, for example, with a champ like Orin, who has like the ability to engage from far but also close, can like he's the one who can tank the Baron.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, team fighting just always like looking at my carries, playing off ability cooldowns, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What about you, Isaac?
For the game, like making sure like I'm on the same like, or what my actions are is coordinating with the plan, like saving spells for certain fights before the fight happens, and like keeping conditions high.
Mhm.
Like make sure I base before like Herald, stuff like that.
Okay, we're gonna have to make a new slot. It's getting a little sticky. Okay, lead progression. I'm gonna call this just LB. We all want some LB.
Yeah, lead protection.
Bugs Bunny.
Regression. Like communicating like my TP and like stuff like that. So we are able to make the invade plays,
Mhm. And then
and
yeah, finish your point
trying to
about
like
the.
connect with like jungle support on, or trying to make sure we're all on the same page on which lane to play through.
Okay. Sounds good. And then what about team fighting?
Depending on my champ, like I should be like in the red spot, like making sure um if I have like the CC on long range, I should be like in the middle, and if I'm playing a flanker, I should be in a flank angle, and not just like death balling with the team. I'm
Mhm.
also looking for vision, or depending on the situation, should look for vision for
Yeah.
the objective.
What I want to hear, if Aaron or Isaac in game calls you like, yo, please get away from me. That's when I know you guys understand. That's when I know you understand this stuff. Not grouping carries. Okay, now we're gonna go to Mr. Our bot lane. Alright, Aaron, early game.
Playing with intent, like when stacking a wave, like don't random fight.
Mhm.
And then using my move when I have no job.
More specifically, communicating them. Okay, do you have more, or do you want to go straight to LP?
That's it. LP. I'm trying to remember. Wait.
Don't worry, I can help you out. Worst case scenario.
Wait, can you go back to the slide?
Yeah, no
Wait, what?
worries.
Mm-mm. Just the number advantage, like when I have, like when I push mid all the way in, like on Jinx, and then we can fight at the Raptors. 3v2 number advantage.
Alright, and then team fighting.
Just knowing where I need to be or where the fight's gonna happen, so I can sit where I can do the most damage.
This is really, really important, by the way, for ADCs. The most important thing.
Yeah.
Alright, T-Sam?
I guess like hovering the right side of the lane, like or like about to make a play. Well, I mean, I guess the big thing is matching the other support, like matching Rel. That's one other thing. Yeah, hovering the crux side, like being ready to move, whether it's say like invade or an objective.
Yep. I think to summarize it would just be like recognizing which waves you're supposed to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have more?
Not really right now. Not yet. This one was like just deploying through the correct lane, like knowing which lane to go through.
Yep.
And
One
then,
thing I
like,
want to,
working. Go ahead.
and then I finish your point. Finish your point.
I was just saying that like working with jungle and like whatever solo is in the lane to like to push out vision or rotate, like either way.
Mhm. Do you have one more, or move on?
I don't have any.
Okay,
Off
I'm
the
gonna
top of
put
my
this
head.
something for you, saving. Actually, I have some homework for you too, some if you're down for it, and then I'm gonna make Sky do the same homework. Alright, and then team fighting.
Like first figuring like getting the vision out to know where they're coming from. I guess it's not too fighting, but I guess like
No,
finding
it
a
is,
flank
it is.
position.
It is. It's like getting info is really important, and then if playing flanker, holding flank. Because actually, that's something that like people were taught this in the past, and I think it's wrong now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been told before like you should engage from pixel, right?
Me?
Like, yeah, has anyone ever heard that? Like, oh, like support should be
Oh.
pixel and they should engage from pixel.
Mm,
If you haven't heard it, it's fine.
not particularly, no. I would
Okay.
say.
That's fine. Then all I'm gonna say is like it's just important to like know why this bush is like valuable. It's like division, right? You don't necessarily like need someone to engage from there, because if you engage from there and you're like here, like, you know, kind of hard to get the dammies off unless you're playing guys. But yeah, just to close it off, I'll say like what my goal was, right? Like what did I want you to learn coming from this? Early game, I want you guys to like play with intent, right? Like don't random trade, crash waves properly for like, you know, progressing the game. Use numbers properly. Stop wasting time. And then for like team fighting, this is something that's gonna like take some time to get used to, but it's just like knowing where the fight will happen. And the reason why I brought up all the concave stuff is because it's just gonna take some reps, you know? So yeah, we're done. This took longer than I expected, but it's also like the first time that we're going through this, right? The more that we run through these reviews, like the faster it's going to become. Does anyone have any questions?
No, I
Okay.
think we covered a lot today.
What did you say, Winston?
No, I was just saying I think we covered a lot today. I think this was we came from B as well.
Is he cutting out for anyone else?
Yeah.
Just sounds kind of far or something.
Wait,
You
can you
said
hear me
we
now?
did a lot today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. Do you guys feel like it was too much information? Do you feel like it took too much time? Was everything like understandable?
Yeah, I thought it was very understandable.
All right,
Yeah, I think
anyone
it's-
else?
It was good.
I think it was fun.
Okay.
Everyone learned a lot, and there's stuff to learn.
All right. In that case, we're gonna close it off.